Hello and welcome to Signal Live. This is the first edition of Signal Live where we will be live streaming on LinkedIn Live, on Facebook, and on our Signal YouTube page. And welcome. My name is Felipe Cofino. I am the VP of Human Resources and Organizational Development here at Signal Financial Federal Credit Union. And I want to welcome you today to introduce our live stream that we're going to be doing on a monthly basis. And occasionally we might do it bi-weekly. And with this live stream, our goal is to really provide you with a lot of information around financial literacy, around careers, around innovation, around lending, products and services, and also the community and workplace balance. So we look forward to having some great conversations. We have some wonderful people lined up for the future live events. So we look forward to you joining us for those as well. But I wanted to start off today a little bit with a little bit of history about Signal, about where they started, what they're doing, and where they're going. And before I start, I do want to invite anyone that is watching, share where you're watching from. Love to hear where you're watching from in the chat. And we'd love to see some comments there if you have any questions about anything you'd like to ask. And also, if you have any questions about what you would like to see in the future on these lives, put in the chat and we would love to hear from you. But let me start off with a little bit about the history of Signal. We are hitting our 75th anniversary this year, which is huge. We've been around for 75 years, and we used to be the Washington Telephone Federal Credit Union. And that was for all the telephone workers before cell phones. So for those of you who remember Bell Atlantic, CMP, they were all the companies that we really catered to. And like many credit unions, some cater to different groups. Some cater to military, to teachers, different areas. We catered to the telephone workers. And then about 15 years ago, there was a shift, a little bit over 15 years ago. And what happened was they decided to rebrand the Washington Telephone Federal Credit Union to Signal Financial Federal Credit Union. And there's two reasons behind that. The first reason really was around being what's called multi-chartered. We wanted to be of service to not just the telephone workers, but to the entire community in the Washington, Maryland, D.C. area. So that was one of the main reasons that we did do that, was to be able to be multi-chartered so that more people could bank with us in the community. But if I'm being honest, there is another reason. The logo for the Washington Telephone Federal Credit Union, unfortunately, it read WTF Credit Union. Yeah. So it was probably a wise decision to rebrand at that time, because that was something that was becoming very popular and obviously is today. Fast forward to about a little bit over 7 years ago, almost 8 years ago, and there was a big shift change. The previous executive committee, they were all retiring over the course of the next 2 years. They all had grown up together. They had moved up in the company, and they had decided, over the course of 2 years, that they were all going to be retiring. So the first one to retire was a CEO, and they hired our current CEO, Francois Verlayson, and he joined, and he saw this opportunity as taking this foundation of this phenomenal credit union that they built and helping it grow and make it truly the best place to bank and the best place to work. And he wanted to do that through building relationships and innovation. And so during his first 2 years, he hired all the executive committee, that, the senior leadership team, and as well as a number of great, wonderful people that have joined our team throughout the years. But what we did was, with that relationships and innovation, we took it seriously. And so with the relationship part, that alone, we applied that not only to our members, but to our employees and to the community. We created training around relationship building to help with sales and service. Because at the end of the day, think about who you go to for your hair, your nails, your car, your doctor. Why do you go back to the same people? Because you built a relationship and you trust them. And that's what Signal's here for. That's what we do. We build those relationships, deepen them, and making them meaningful relationships that show that we actually care about the individual, that we listen to them, that they were heard. And then if we have the opportunity to help them financially, that's what we're there for. And so that way, when you come to us and we have that relationship, we don't need to sell you on stuff. You come to us, we have that relationship, we have a conversation, you ask our advice, we give you our advice. If you trust us, you take that advice. That's the beauty of that relationship. So think about those people that you go to. Does your hairstylist call you to sell you to come back to them, or the person, your mechanic? No, you return because of that relationship. So that has really been the core part of what we try to do, is make sure that we value the relationships that we have, again, with the members, the employees, and the community. Now, the innovation side is a big factor too. One of the big barriers that our CEO saw as a barrier to building relationships was our teller lines in our branches. His vision was to really create an opportunity to increase the opportunity to build relationships and the tow line was a barrier. So we built our first branch a little bit over 5 years ago in City Center, DC. This branch, when you walk into this branch, the best way to describe it is, okay, and I'm going to geek out a little bit about this because this is some of the cool stuff that we have. And before I start sharing this, if any of you want to get a visual about some of the innovation, engagement, culture that I'm going to talk about, I invite you to check out our YouTube page, the Signal Careers, Culture, and Community page. That page there, look at the playlist. You'll see ones about Signal Go Ahead. It talks about mobile branch, our engagement, our community, our job postings, videos that show you about the branches. That will give you a visual about all things I'm about to share. So going back to the City Center branch, this branch here, it is something that is one of a kind. It is, you walk in there and it's like Starbucks and the Apple Store had a baby. Okay. You walk in and it's all open concept. To the left is a coffee shop. We offer cappuccinos, lattes, tea, whatever you need, and it's free. We have a coffee counter. You can sit down with iPads to surf the net or do your banking, or you can sit down and have a meeting with your colleagues, just like you would at Starbucks. The rest of the branch is wide open. It has open concept, but we have movable air walls that we can divide up this space and create unique space if we want to get creative. And then we have glass air walls that we can build offices in 4 minutes or less. And then you pull out your desk from inside the office from the wall, your drawers have all the supplies, and everything's wireless. So you're on your laptop wireless, and you can help out somebody if they're sitting down or in a private office, wherever you'd like. So imagine if you came into the branch, and let's say that Jane came into the branch and I said, "Welcome, Jane. How can I help you today?" And Jane says, "Well, I left my debit card at home. I just want to do a $100 withdrawal." I'd be like, "Great. Can I get you anything to drink? Coffee, tea?" Say Jane wants a cappuccino. So someone brings her a cappuccino. I go to what we call our TCR machines or cash recyclers, because again, we don't have a teller line. I enter information, cannot get her account, pull out her cash. I bring it to her. I sit down with her and I get to know her better and build on that relationship. And when she leaves, strengthen that relationship and ask about what their plans are for the future, for the summer plans, or how's that new car doing, or how's your new niece or child, to really deepen that relationship. That's the value of doing that, because we really want to get to know our members and understand their needs so that we can help them if the opportunity arises. So now that again shows the experience that we have with our membership. But our community partners, same thing. Okay, I'll use the City Center branch again, same example. This branch alone has partnered up with a local art school. They partnered up with a fashion designer, and a local bookstore. And over these past 5 years, with the art school, for example, we went ahead and we partnered with the master students there, and we showcased their art in our branch. And at the first Thursday of every month, we would showcase their art, have an art show on the first Thursday, and then the rest of the month, leave the artwork up on those air walls I spoke about. Now, if anybody purchases the artwork, all the money goes to the artist. We don't make anything, it's all for them, an opportunity for them to promote their artwork. Well, the fashion designer, same thing. They wanted to have a fashion show in our branch. So guess what? We had the catwalk, we had everything, we had the staging, and it was amazing. And then the bookstore owner, we built a relationship with them. They were a member. We got to know them, understanding what they were doing and their needs. And they have been doing and partnering with a local television station to do the National Black Authors Read-In every February. Well, they wanted a space a little bit larger, so they partnered with us. So for a few years in a row, we hosted the National Black Authors Read-In, and it was televised from that branch. So that just shows you a little bit about the community relationships we have. But then COVID hit. And guess what? Live events stopped. And unfortunately, we couldn't do them anymore. But we wanted to reach out and still find a way to maintain these relationships that we built. We truly mean it. When those relationships are valuable, we mean it. So we reached out to the local art school and we asked them, listen, we can't do live events anymore, but if you have the opportunity to send us your images of the artist's artwork, we'd be happy to do a virtual art show and put it on our website, on YouTube, on social media to help your artists promote their artwork that way during the pandemic. And guess what? They were happy to do so. So what was originally called Art in the City at our City Center branch became Virtual Art in the City. And we look forward to the day when that returns. So that just gives you some examples of some of the innovation that we've done with the branch and how we've built those relationships with our members, our community, and the employees. And we also built new branches like that in One Loudon, Virginia a few years ago. And then we have our newest branch that we're currently building Our one Largo branch, we are actually just moving that down the street to a new location, but it will be the same new model as the one I just described. So that is some of the innovation that has we've done with our branches. Now, this past 2 years, we had another thing happen. We had one of the most unique things that we've done is we have a mobile branch. And for those of you who may have seen something similar in the past, let me just tell you, this is the first of its kind. And I'm going to geek out a little bit again here because this is something that is, it's got so many facets that's amazing. Okay. First of all, if you look at our YouTube page, it's pinned at the top of the YouTube page that I mentioned earlier. This mobile branch, first of all, it has the most gorgeous wrap around it that you could ever imagine. Okay. I've seen wraps around in other places and they get scratched up very easily. This one here is gorgeous and bright. But the wrap, what it has is it's a great engagement and marketing opportunity for us to really engage with community. And one side, it's all about what's your obsession. One side's all pink, and you see this lovely woman with her dog, and they're dressed in pink, and everything around them is pink. And on the other side, you have a gentleman with all these plants around him. Obviously, her obsession is pink. His obsession are the plants. And in the back, it says, "What's your obsession?" Ours happen to be financials. And we encourage people to come around and take pictures of the truck, post it on social media. Sometimes we have raffles for it. But we'd love to get to engage with community that way. But it's not just a marketing billboard that we drive around. It's a full functioning branch. It is fully staffed. And on the outside of the truck or the mobile branch, we have a full functioning ATM, state of the art, with anti skimming and everything. We have a TV monitor and computer to open accounts. We have an instant issue debit card machine. So if you lost your debit card, you could walk up to the mobile branch and they could instant issue a debit card right on the spot. We also have a check printer. And with the check printer, you have the opportunity to, if you got approved for your car loan, we can print out your loan check right there. So that just shows you how functional this branch is as its own standalone branch. And we can drive around. We drive around to different events. We've gone to the Eat Loco Farmers Market in Loudon. We've gone to the Mortgage Home Show in Largo, Maryland. We went to the Kinston 8K race in Kensington. And we've also gone to a number of different events like the Washington Bike Association. And we have a number of events that we're going to be taking the mobile branch to engage with the community and have fun. Now, here's the kicker. Inside the mobile branch, it's not an office. We have gamified financial education. Okay. When you walk into that mobile branch, the inside, the only thing you see is a podium with a keyboard, and the entire wall of the inside of the truck, from top to bottom, left to right, is a video screen. Okay. And when you enter in your information and start playing the game, questions start coming at you. And they start asking you questions about how do you do your spending? If you won $1 million, how much would you save? And it's all multiple choice. And then they have a lightning round. And then it asks you about educational questions like who controls the US Mint? Can the president do this? And at the end, you get a little synopsis about how you do your spending, how to improve your finances, and you get a cool little avatar that tells you, are you a cautious clock? Are you a financial wizard? And when you walk out of there, you feel like you were in Dave and Buster's game because during the game, the lights go down, green lights come up, and you're just totally immersed in this game. So it really is an amazing, unique way to engage with our community and really improve financial education. So that's a little bit about the innovation about our brand and our mobile branch as well. What we have coming up next is exciting. This year, right now, currently today, as I speak, we are in the midst of going through some conversions and enhancing some of our systems. We are currently going to a system called Glia. This is exciting because this is going to be one of those nice differentiators for us where if you're on a website, you can go ahead and have that little chat feature in the bottom right-hand corner that you may have seen in other websites. And you can go ahead and chat with somebody at Signal. We can video conference, we can co-browse, screen share, and really help our members at a whole different level. And there are a number of large institutions out there that don't have this feature. So we're very excited to roll that out. We also have a conversion going with a company called Alchemy. We are going to, step it up with our cards, debit and credit cards are digital with all our online banking and as well with our app. So you'll see all these features being much more easier to use. Functionality will be competitive with the much larger financial institutions. And that's something that's very exciting. And then the last part of the conversion is we are changing our entire core system. It's called Fiserv. Our system that we're going to is called Fiserv, and they are a system that is going to make the user experience and the user on our side as well as the member experience be just even more outstanding. So we look forward to all these exciting changes that are happening. Signal has grown so much over the years, but we've also stayed very true to our values. We've made sure that our culture is something that's important. We have a culture committee that we've had for the last 5 years, and I'm very proud to say has made a significant impact on our overall culture in all aspects. And right now we have so many exciting things happening. It's a wonderful team, and I am excited to highlight some of those team members in our future LinkedIn live streams. Coming up in the future, we do have two individuals I want to highlight. We have Sheila L., who is part of our digital member support team. She heads it up actually, and she's going to be sharing some of the exciting features that I just mentioned with Leah and talk a little about the culture and also some financial literacy. And then we also have PJ, who is one of our senior loan officers, and he is going to join us later on next month. And he's going to talk about a little bit about home mortgages, what to do, what not to do, some opportunities to ask him questions, and also a chance to really just learn more about how mortgages work. So we're very excited to share this. I hope that you've learned a little bit about Signal, and I hope that you have a chance to come back and join us for the future lives. We will definitely be sending those out. The next one we have scheduled is scheduled for April 20th. So that will be with Sheila L. on April 20th at 2 o'clock. So thank you all for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you in the future lives, and I hope all of you have a wonderful rest of your day and check out Signal. Bye now.